So we're going to continue discussing conditional statements. So I'm going to define some new statements. The first one is going to be the contrapositive. The contrapositive of the conditional statement if P then Q is the conditional statement not Q. If not Q, then not P. So you switch the order and you negate each piece. Now the reason why we care about a contrapositive is because a conditional statement is logically equivalent to its contrapositive. So this means if P then Q, it's logically equivalent to not, if not Q, then not P. So let's look at an example where we write some contrapositives, right? Each of the following statements in its equivalent contrapositive form. So the first one is going to be if Howard can swim across the lake, then Howard can swim to the island. So you identify your pieces, your P and your Q. Howard can swim across the lake, that's my P. My Q is Howard can swim to the island. And you switch them and you negate them. So it would say if Howard cannot swim to the island, then Howard cannot swim across the lake. So that would be the contrapositive. Let's look at another one. So B, if today is Easter, then tomorrow is Monday. So again, we're going to look at our pieces here. If, now switch them and negate them. If tomorrow is not Monday, then today is not Easter. So that would be the negation. So that's a contrapositive. We're going to talk about two more of these, which are called the converse and the inverse. So the converse of if P then Q is if Q then P. So you just flip the order. On the other hand, the inverse of if P then Q is not P. If not P, then not Q. So the inverse, you leave the order the same, you just negate the pieces. So let's look at some examples. Go back to the ones we had earlier. Let's say our first one from earlier was if Howard can swim across the lake, then Howard can swim to the island. And we want to find the converse and inverse of this. So, a converse means you just flip the order. So if Howard can swim to the island, then Howard can swim across the lake. The inverse would be leave them in the order they are, just negate them. So if Howard cannot swim across the lake, then Howard cannot swim to the island. Let's look at our last one here, part B. We looked at this example. If today is Easter, then tomorrow is Monday. Let's write the converse of that. So the converse would say, if tomorrow is Monday, then today is Easter. And the inverse would say, if today is not Easter, then tomorrow is not Monday. So that is converses and inverses.